Swift Cuts makes $12 on each manicure and $18 on each haircut. A manicure takes 30 minutes and a haircut takes 50 minutes, and there are 5 stylists who each work 6 hours a day. If the salon can schedule 50 appointments a day, how many should be manicures and how many haircuts in order to maximize profit? What is the maximum profit? Well, let's familiarize ourselves with this situation. This is a problem that we can solve using linear programming. And one of the hardest things in a problem like this is actually determining what the variables are. We need to think, what are the things that we are asked for in the answer? We're asked for how many manicures and how many haircuts we can give. And so that's a good idea to help you determine what the variables are. We will have the number of manicures, we'll let that be X, the number of manicures that the salon would give, and we'll let Y be the number of haircuts. And this is an important step to not only determine what you should use, but also to write it down. Because at the end, we'll just have X and Y, and we'll have to know what they stand for. So first of all, determine what your variables are. Second, let's see what we need to maximize or minimize. In this case, we want to maximize profit. So we want to get what's called our objective function, which would be the profit function. Now we're going to write this in terms of our variables X and Y. We know that the salon has a profit of $12 per manicure and $18 per haircut. So the profit would be P equals 12X, $12 times the number of manicures, plus 18Y. That's 18 times the number of haircuts. So that's 2 parts we have. We have the variables and we have our objective function that we want to maximize. For the last step in setting this up, we need to have the constraints. When you read the problem carefully, you ask yourself, what things are limited? Well, we can see 2 things that are limited. One is the stylist time. There's only so much time the stylist can work. And the other is the number of appointments. We're told that we only can have 50 appointments. So let's do the appointments first. We have a total of 50 appointments, so the number of manicures plus the number of haircuts has to be less than or equal to 50. For the stylist time, it's going to take a little more thought. There are 5 stylists, each of whom works 6 hours a day. So that would be 5 stylists times 6 hours. But we need to work in minutes because we're told how many minutes each manicure and each haircut takes. So instead of 6 hours, we'll use 60 minutes. So that gives us 5 times 6 times 60, which would be 1,800 minutes. That's the limit of the stylist time. Now each manicure takes 30 minutes, which would be 30x. Each haircut takes 50 minutes, which would give us 50y. And that cannot be greater than the amount of time available, which would mean that this has to be less than or equal to 1,800. So we have one inequality and another inequality, and then there are 2 more inequalities that we have to add just because of the type of problem we're working with. X and Y cannot be negative. So we would add that X is greater than or equal to 0 and Y is greater than or equal to 0. So what we have is a system of 4 linear inequalities. When we graph this system of these 4 linear inequalities, the graph of the system forms what's called a feasible region. Somewhere inside of here is the point that will maximize the profit. And we know, because of theorems that have been proved in the area of linear programming, that that maximum profit is going to occur at one of these corner points or vertices. And there are 4 that we find: 0, 0, 50, 0, 35, 15, and 0, 36. What we want to do is take that profit function p equals 12x plus 18y and evaluate it at each one of those vertices. Wherever it has the largest profit will give us the largest possible profit given these constraints. So we have the vertices 0, 0, 50, 0, 35, 15, and 0, 36. And we evaluate this at each one of those. Well, this would be 0 plus 0, which would give us 0. This is 12 times 50 plus 18 times 0, which gives us 600. This is 35 times 12 plus 18 times 15, which gives us 690. And last we have 12 times 0 plus 18 times 36, which gives us 648. Now once we've done that, the answer is found by simply looking through these numbers and choosing the largest one. If we wanted to minimize it, we choose the smallest one. This is the maximum profit that we can make, and this tells us how many manicures and how many haircuts to schedule. So we say that the maximum profit that the salon can make is going to be $690 when, now remember 35 is x, and we may have to go back to the beginning to find that we said that x was the number of manicures. So 35 manicures and 15 haircuts are scheduled. That would be how to schedule it in order to maximize the profit.